Welcome to 6 weeks of an Earth Day embodiment practices in the art and practice of movement 2020. Boy, did we not know what we were getting into when we were hoping that 2020 would be the best year yet, or the best decade yet. But I think that possibility is still there. Today, we begin with this idea of death and the renewal in spring's green fountains. That's a quote from Ursula K. Le Guin. I'm going to read a poem that it comes from. It's called Come to Dust. Death is a part of life as much as life is a part of death. In this time that there has been death in life as we have known it, and in this time that we are carrying a tremendous amount of anxiety, fear of the unknown, fear of death for those we love, and perhaps fear of our own deaths, perhaps fear of what is the truth, that life is an ever ongoing, dying, and renewing process. So I want to start today with this poem called Come to Dust by Ursula Le Guin, wherever she is in the cosmic universe, and say thank you to Ursula. I memorized this last summer, but I may not have it fully there, so I have the book in front of me. It's from So Far So Good, her final poems. Come to Dust. Spirit, rehearse the journeys of the body that are to come, the motions of the matter that held you. Rise up in the smoke of Palo Santo, fall to the earth in the falling rain. Sink in, sink down to the farthest roots. Mount slowly in the rising sap to the branches, the crown, the leaf tips. Come down to earth as leaves in autumn to lie in the patient rot of winter. Rise again in spring's green fountains. Drift in sunlight with the sacred pollen to fall in blessing. All earth's dust has been life. Held soul is holy. I want us to do a practice today in letting life fall, letting things die, letting go, surrendering, and being renewed and rising in this equinox. Each week, I'm going to highlight Seattle composers and encourage you to go to their Bandcamp or their other links that I provide for you, particularly with Bandcamp. Please support these composers out there. Buy a song, buy an album. Today is Kaylee Lane Eaton, a wonderful collaborator of mine here in Seattle. And she has started a pandemic journal of compositions. So these are 2 pieces, one called Elegy and one called Equinox that we're going to use today in our practice. Let's begin. I have a candle here to remind us that even in the darkest moments, even in our death, there is still a light. So start with either full body, or you can start in a chair and stay in a chair and just use your upper body. Or you could just lie down on the floor and use your imagination of your whole body doing this practice together. It will be effective, I promise. With the whole body standing, big breath, and just shake it up. You need to disrupt any of these impoverished rhythms in ourselves and get things moving. And shaking it up. Little bouncing, shaking up the whole system. We're going to begin a process of a breath cycle. Inhaling all the way up with your arms up to the sky, imagining yourself like a tall building or a tree or simply just yourself. And as you inhale and exhale, reaching tall, imagine the things that you would like to let die, that you would like to surrender. The way it was before, the anxieties, the fears that you carry, that you had before even this pandemic. And slowly, in at least a 10 breath cycle, let yourself begin to descend to the ground. Pausing to inhale, and slowly through the exhale, letting yourself lower. And inhale as you pause. And letting yourself lower. And inhale. And letting yourself lower to the ground. Letting it come to dust. Letting it fall. Stopping to pause between and on the exhale, the inhale. Maybe now descending to your hands and knees. Inhaling and exhaling. Pausing to inhale, making your way all the way to your back. Pausing again, taking your time. And exhaling, descending. And exhaling, descending, almost all completely down. And using the last couple of breaths to completely surrender into the ground, into the earth, back into the dark spaces of the unknowing, of the mystery, exhaling. Inhaling and relaxing the shoulders into the earth, into the darkness. Inhaling, relaxing, releasing, surrendering the back of the head into the earth. Inhaling and exhaling and relaxing the pelvis deeply into the earth and the arms and the hands. And as you inhale, inhale that candle light, that light that's still burning in the darkness. And inhaling. you exhale. Perhaps letting your head hang as you inhale to pause. And exhaling, moving to your hands and your knees. Rising with a bit more energy as you exhale, stretching through your back. Inhale aggressively and with strength as you move, and exhale into, perhaps onto your squat, into your hands and feet. Inhaling and exhale to rise. Maybe almost completely up. Inhale, exhale to rise. Inhale. You should be onto your feet by now, reaching your hands into the air, exhaling. I'm sending movement from the right hand down into the left foot. Begin to circle and move the left foot and the right hand. Sending this movement into the elbow and into the shoulder, reaching the hand toward your foot in the back space, reaching your hand in the front space, now into the back space. Reach your hand to your foot in the back space. Moving right hand and right foot, and then switch to the left hand, moving the left hand and the right foot, as if they're having a conversation between hand and foot. Reaching the hand toward the foot, across the body, reaching the hand to the foot behind the body. This is a cross-lateral movement from left hand to right foot. Waking up and challenging. Now moving both right hand and left foot and left hand and right foot. Crossing the midline, reaching yourself into a hug, waking up the right and left hemispheres. Really challenging to not get stuck. To not get stuck in a myopic, left-brained, logical, analytical look at the world, but bringing in both hemispheres, bringing in the right side of the brain that we need more of to overcome the mistakes of the past, to fully embrace and open to this wholeness, this interconnectedness. Continue to move. Right hand connected to left foot, left hand connected to right foot. Reaching out and through as if you are branches and flowers moving out into the world. Pushing the pollen through the air with your limbs, your hands, and your feet. I encourage you to practice this movement of breath moving, descending, exhaling down, pausing to inhale, exhaling down, all the way into this release and this death into the earth to hold us in the darkness and the mystery, to release fear and anxiety, and then inhaling and exhaling to rise and push with strength and softness up out of the earth. You're going to repeat this over and over again, down and then up and then down. Much love and blessings. Move for your love and well-being and for the collective.